Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र, राधा वृंदावन चंद्र श्री राधे। जय गोपाल नाथ जी, जय श्रीनाथ जी, जय गोपाल नाथ जी, जय श्रीनाथ जी। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह, जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह, जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह, जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की, ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ीय संप्रदाय आचार्य गुरुवर की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की। बोलो न्यू वृंदावन राम नवमी महोत्सव की सेलिब्रेशन की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. नमाम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरोभिश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So, celebrating the theme of the appearance day of Lord Ramachandra, today's Bhagavatam class will be dedicated to this subject matter. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarobhascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. आजानुलंबित भुजो कनकाय उधातो संकीर्तनय पितरो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युग धर्म पालो वंदे जगत प्रिय करो करुणा अवतारो नवनीरद निंदित कांति धरम रसुसागर नागर भूपवरम शुभवंकिम चारु शिखंड सिकिम भज कृष्ण निधिम व्रजराज सुतम राधिका सरोद इंदु निंदि मुख मंडली वंदिये श्रीपाद पद्म वृषभानु नंदिनी लोकाविरामं रणरणधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये. जनकसुतावर जगजननी जानकी अतिशय प्रिय करुणा निधान की मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी द्रवोषो दशरथ अजिर विहारी राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम. बोलो दशरथ नंदन श्री राम की, कौशल्या नंदन श्री राम की. So tomorrow is Ram Navami, the appearance day of Lord Ramachandra, and I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, especially Srila Prabhupada disciples, so that whatever I speak is pleasing to Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas, and to the assembled Vaishnavas present and also online. So, Ramayana basically means it's a combination of two words, Ram plus iron. So, what does it mean? Iron means journey or the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, Ram iron. And we find in the Ramayana, Lord Rama is the most ideal personality. He is known as Maryada Purushottam. And he is the ideal son, the ideal brother, the ideal husband, the ideal master, the ideal friend, the ideal king, and the ideal protector of dharma, religiosity, and his subjects, and the protector of the sadhus or the saintly personalities. Krishna is a little more complicated. Lord Ramachandra is very straightforward and ideal in all respects. But Krishna is sometimes crooked, transcendentally crooked. But in order to understand Krishna, we have to understand the precepts of Ramayana. Meaning, which is which will help us with our sadhana bhakti. Because without sadhana bhakti, we cannot enter Raganuga bhakti or the bhakti of the Vrajvasis. Unless and until we are firm, Srila Prabhupada had always harped on this fact that before we enter the 10th canto, we should thoroughly absorb, read, digest the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why is that? Because Srimad Bhagavatam, the first 9 cantos, has got a lot of philosophy and pastimes of the expansions of Sri Krishna. And without understanding those, to enter the Srimad Bhagavatam into the 10th canto would be a big mistake, because we would never understand Krishna's pastimes without understanding the pastimes or the expansions of Krishna and his interactions with his devotees. So that is the reason why we find before entering the 10th canto, in the 9th canto, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra are mentioned. And then we can enter, we will be qualified enough to understand Lord Krishna, who is Purna Purushottam Bhagwan. So what is the difference between Krishna and Lord Ramachandra? They're non-different. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan Nana Uttara Karudam. The Brahma Samhita verse is there. That Krishna and his expansions are non-different. Just like a lamp, Deepa Chareva. There's another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in Brahma Samhita, that the first lamp is non-different from the last one. When we are lighting lamps or candles, then all the potency is the same. But due to the different interactions, due to the different pastimes or leela, for that purpose, they are different and there are some distinctions. So, Lord Krishna is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. He is completely, because everything emanates from him. Janmadi yasya yato anvayadi tirtascha artheshva bhigyaswarat. First verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. And also the first Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi yasya. Meaning, Janam means creation, Adi means the maintenance and sustenance of everything, not only the material worlds, but also all the different expansions. They all emanate from Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And we find that in order to understand the Lord of Golok, we have to try our best to understand the rest of his pastimes, so that we can really enter deeply into the rasa of Krishna's pastimes. Ramayana is divided into 7 cantos, or we can say they are known as the kandas. Like Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into 3, Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and Antya Leela. Srimad Bhagavatam is divided into how many cantos? 12 cantos. So Ramayana is divided into 7 cantos. What are they? Balkand, where Lord Ramachandra's pastimes when he was a child. Ayodhya Kand, when he lived in Ayodhya prior to his exile. Aranya Kand, Aranya means forest, when Lord Ramachandra went to the forest. Then Kishkinda Kand, where he met all the Vandrasena, or the monkeys, including Hanuman, Vali, Sugriv, Angad, all those leaders. Then comes Sundarkand, which is a very famous Kand. A lot of the devotees in India, they every Saturday, those who are especially devotees of Lord Hanuman, they chant the Sundarkand. Why is it called Sundar? Sundar means beautiful, because it is most beautiful because of the pastimes of Lord Hanuman, who is the best devotee of Lord Ramachandra. Therefore, it is known as Sundarkand because of his devotion to Lord Rama. That is why that particular canto or kanda is known as Sundarkand, the devotion of Hanumanji. Then there is Yuddha Kand. Yuddha means war. Thereafter, we all know that the war happened with Ravan. And then Uttarkand. Uttar means north. When Lord Ramachandra, after finishing the war, he went up north, back home after his 14 years of exile, after killing Ravan, and he went Uttar. Uttar means he went in the northern direction, back home to Ayodhya. So these are the 7 different cantos. Of course, I will try to describe as much as I can because Ramayana is vast. It is said in the Ramayana that Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. The Lord is Ananta. Ananta means unlimited. And so is his Katha. His pastimes, his narrations are also unlimited. So it is impossible for any one of us to speak about Ramayana in maybe even, we can say, 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, or 10 days, or 10 months, as a matter of fact. But we can try to grasp whatever we can based on our abilities. Whatever I know, I will try to present today in the short time that I have. So, in the Ramayana, we find before the Ramayana even began, there was one dacoit by the name of Ratnakar. And this dacoit would steal mercilessly from pilgrims, and he would not even spare the saintly persons. So one time, Naradji was passing through that forest, and this dacoit saw him, and he jumped out of the bushes and says that, give me whatever you have, and I am that famous Ratnakar dacoit. So Naradji says that, look, I don't have much, but I have one question for you. Why do you do this? Why are you stealing, and that too mercilessly? You don't spare anybody without looking at whether this person is an old man or a needy person or a saintly person. Why do you do that? So he says, well, that's my business. I have a family that I need to take care of. And everybody's got a profession. My profession is to become a dacoit. I am a dacoit, and that's how I maintain my family. So Naradji says, you know what? I'm not trying to run away from you, but I have one major question that you need to ask your family. And what was that question? He says, you go and ask your family that, look, I am earning wealth through all bad and sinful means, and I will be incurring a lot of bad karma due to my sinful activities. But you are also spending my money. So when I go to hell, will you come with me? Will you take a portion of my karma, of my sinful activities? So go ask this question, and I will be waiting for you. Trust me, I'm not running away. So he trusted a saintly personality. He went home and he asked his family that, I've been sinning, collecting all this money, and, it's to maintain you all. But I have a question. Will you take part of my bad karma? So everybody backed off, including his wife. No, 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 no. What kind of a question is that? So then he understood, Ratnakar understood that this is an amazing question, and it is an eye-opener for me. He goes back to Naradji and tells Naradji, from now on, please guide me. You're a saintly person, and I want to stop all this bad activities, the sinful activities. How can I stop that? So Naradji says, chant the name of Ram. So the holy names, Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also emphasizes, Sri Prabhupada emphasized, all our acharyas emphasize as the chanting of the holy names, especially in Kali Yuga. But even back then, this is in Treta Yuga. Uh, Prior to Kali Yuga was Dwapar, and prior to Dwapar was Treta. So the holy names are always prominent, but especially more prominent in Kali Yuga. So chanting of the holy names purifies our hearts. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Marjanam means it cleanses our consciousness, our mirror of the mind, and it extinguishes the forest fire. Bhava Mahadava, not an ordinary Davanal, but a Maha. Davanal means forest fire. We sing this in the morning, Samsara Davanal, Lidaloka, Tranaya, Karunya, Ganaganatvam, right? The Guruvastakam in the Mangalarti. So this material world is a forest fire, but this is also described as a Mahadavanal, a great forest fire, and that can be only be extinguished when we chant the holy names and we purify our hearts of the different anarthas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the different anarthas that we all have in us, the illusions that we have of the self and also of the super self, meaning the super soul. The illusion of sadhana. Oh, what's the use? After sometimes some of us think, or some people may remark, oh, chanting this holy names and dancing and doing kirtan and reading and this and that, all a waste of time. What's the use of this sadhana? So that is an illusion. That illusion. That is one of the anarthas, illusion. The second the anarthas that is there, or the misgivings that we have, is the Mrigatrishna. Mrigatrishna means the mirage. Just like Mrig means a deer and Trishna means the thirst. And just like a deer is chasing a mirage, thinking that, oh, the water is very close, let me run faster and I will get it. And like that, the deer chases that mirage and never gets that water and dies after chasing that illusory water body. Out of thirst and hunger and fatigue, it finally dies. So, what is that? That is bhukti, mukti, siddhi, and calm. Uh, the bhukti means sense enjoyment, mukti means even liberation. Desiring mukti or liberation is an anartha. Siddhi, desiring for different siddhis, magical feats, performing, producing ash, producing gold, producing some fruit. So there are so many people who have those so-called perfections that only produce some small miracles which people get enamored by. So that is also an anartha. Bhakti, mukti, siddhi, and calm. Calm means again material desires. And the third kind of anartha is, or the sin that leads to sinful activities, is aprad. Different kinds of offenses: Nam aprad, Vaishnav aprad, Bhagvat aprad, Dham aprad, Jiva aprad. Offenses to the Vaishnavas, offenses to the Lord, offenses to the Jivas, offenses to the holy Dham, and like that, these offenses are the offenses to the holy name. So that's an anartha. And the fourth anartha is Hriday Durbalyam. Hriday Durbalyam means the weakness of the heart. And that is also further characterized into three departments, which is Matsarya, Kutniti, and Tucha Sakti. Matsarya means jealousy or envy. Kutniti means dupliciousness, duplicitous nature. And the third one within that category is uh, in the weakness of the heart is Tucha Sakti, getting attached to very uh, small things, material things. Tucha means something that the saintly persons reject. Tucha Sakti. So getting attached to all those different things. That is. So chanting of the holy names. So Ratnakar was asked by Narad Rishi, please chant Rama, 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 Ram. And he could not chant Ram, Ram, Ram. He would chant Rama, 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 Rama. So ultimately the name Ram came in that because it was a continuous repetition. See, so Narad said, okay, you keep chanting this. So once he kept chanting the holy names, he became so purified. His heart became completely cleansed, and he became the great sage Valmiki. Valmiki is the one. And Srila Prabhupada said there are many Ramayans, but Valmiki Ramayana is the most authentic. Srila Prabhupada. There are reasons, of course. We should not kind of, criticize any of the other Ramayans, like there's Tulsi Ramayan, there is other many places, like in Bengal there is Kamba Ramayan. I think in Tamil it's Kamba Ramayan, and Kruttabhash Ramayan in Bengal, etc. So these are all different devotees who actually uh, got the darshan of Lord Ramachandra, including Tulsidas ji. So they have their own sentiments, and like we find that Srila Prabhupada sometimes has purports, or Bhaktivedanta purports, where he quotes different Vaishnavas, Acharyas. Like he says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this. It's the same verse. Sridhar Swami says this. Jiva Goswami says this. So different Goswamis or different Acharyas are quoted with their own personal realizations. So sometimes we do find, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Leela Bhed. Leela Bhed means some differences in Leela, some differences in pastimes. But what do our Acharya says? We have to become Saragrahi Vaishnava. Especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Saragrahi Vaishnava means Sar means essence. Grahi means one who accepts the essence of the message. So sometimes we find that there might be some difference, a little bit of difference in the message, in the pastimes that are narrated, or in the realizations of different devotees. But true devotees will take the essence of what that person or that personality is trying to say. So he became, in Ramayan, Valmiki, the entire Ramayan was actually written even before Ramayan happened. This is an amazing thing. It is not that Ramayan happened and then Valmiki appeared and then Valmiki, like we find that, like see, Lochan Das Thakur of Chaitanya Mangal, the author of Chaitanya Mangal, Murari Gupta's diary, Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat, and Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita. They were all written after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So they were written afterwards. But Ramayan is so unique that it was written prior to the Ramayan actually happening. And at that time, when Valmiki was seated on the banks of the Tamasa River, and there he saw two cranes. They were mating. They were enjoying amorous pastimes. The crane, the male and the female. And one hunter aimed an arrow and mercilessly killed one of them. So at that time, Valmiki was so compassionate. This same personality who was killing people for some small pieces of gold and jewelry, just seeing a crane being killed, his heart melted and he cried. And when he cried, came out the very first verse of the Ramayana. What was that verse? Manishad pratishthamatva magnamaha shashwati samayata krocha mithunata ekam avadhi kama mohitam ekam avadhi kama mohitam. This was the first verse, and it came out in such a wonderful meter. All the verses in the scriptures are there. You can recite them in different meters. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, if you look at it, is so meticulously composed that not even the best of the poets in this material world can even think of composing the verses. They can be sung in different meters. And especially if we examine some of the verses like the Gopi Geet, like Vyasdev has composed, Jayati Tedikam Janmanavraja Shrayata Indira Shashwadatrahi. So Jayati Te Adhikam, Ja. Janmanavraja, Ja. Shrayata Indira, Shra. Shrayata Shashwadatrahi. Like that. All the verses of the Gopi Gita, in many places we find that there is a lot of nice components in poetry like alliteration and different different meters that they can be sung by. So this meter is the meter that was the clue that came, and Lord Brahma appeared at that time, and he kind of pacified Valmiki, just like when Vyasdev was despondent, and at that time who came? His spiritual master, Naradji came, and he pacified him, and then he induced him and encouraged him to write Srimad Bhagavatam, not knowing his own reason or for his own despondency or his own sadness. So he took the guidance from Naradji at that time. So Brahma said, Valmiki, actually, this is happening because I induced that in you, and this is because Brahmaji is the Adi Kavi, the first poet. We find that word in the Srimad Bhagavatam first verse as well. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. The transcendental knowledge was first given by Lord Krishna, Shyam Sundar of Golok Vrindavan, to this particular Brahma. Tene Brahma, Brahma means spiritual knowledge. Adi Kave, to the first poet, meaning Lord Brahma, within his heart. So he said, I actually induced this. This poem came out, and in this meter you will compose a wonderful epic of Lord Ramachandra, known as the Ramayana. And that is the reason. Now, if we analyze this verse very briefly, of course, this verse is very complicated and it has got many, many different facets to it. But here it means that Ma Nishada Pratistam. Ma Nishad means, oh hunter! Valmiki is cursing the hunter. Ma Nishad Pratistam. Your reputation will be completely destroyed. Pratistam means Tva Magmaha. You will not get any kind of peace for this heinous act. What was the heinous act? Shashvatati Samaha. For many, many years, you will not be at peace. Yat Krochat Mithunat. Because Krocha means the cranes. These cranes who are enjoying the husband, the male and the female. Out of these two pairs, Ekam, you killed one of them. You didn't kill both. Can you imagine, if somebody kills the husband, the wife has to, she's devastated. And if somebody just kills the wife, the husband is devastated. If we simply try to understand. So that is why here Valmiki says, Ekam, you killed only one. You did a heinous act, but you killed only one of them. Avadhi means to kill. Kama Mohitam, when they were both, enjoying their loving relationship, the two cranes. Now also, that is the direct meaning of what Valmiki said, but also there is an inner meaning that Lord Brahma had induced in him, which is actually the meaning of the Ramayana itself. So here, Ma Nishad means Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi is who? None other than Sita Devi, Mother Sita. Pratistham means the reputation. Tva Magnat, you will get. That means this reputation is because he's addressing this to Lord Ramachandra. That you will become very, very famous, because Mother Sita was taken by Ravan, by the crooked Ravan, and the word crooked also means Kroncha. Kroncha means one meaning of the word Kroncha means the crane, and one meaning of Kroncha means the crooked. Crooked means the Ravan. Out of the pair. And you killed who? Only killed Ravan. You did not kill Mandodri, the wife of Ravan. That is what it means in this verse. Ekam avadi kama mohitam. So you killed one of them, meaning Ravan had many wives, of course, but you killed Ravan. So therefore you will become very, very famous. And we all know, everybody knows, everybody's heard about Lord Rama, and especially his victory over Ravan is celebrated on the famous day of Dashera. So this is the actually inner meaning. Again, one more time, this meaning is, oh Ram, may your reputation be for eternity, for several years. because out of the couple, out of Ravan and Mandodari, you killed the crooked Ravan who was filled with lust. So Kama Mohitam means lust. Ravan was full of lust. Because of his lusty nature, he had actually kidnapped Sita. So we find that in the Lord Ramachandra appeared in the Surya Vamsha. Surya Vamsha means the Sun dynasty. And who are the famous personalities in the Sun dynasty? There are many to mention. Actually, Lord Ramachandra is the 50th in the Sun dynasty. Like we find that the great Krishna spoke first to Bhagavad Gita to Vivashwan. So Vivashwan is the sun god. So he is the Surya Dev. So he is the first one. Then his son Ikshvaku. And like that, in their generations came the great Dilip Maharaj, the great King Dilip, King Raghu, King Aja. And then Aja's son was Dashrath. And Dashrath, what does Dashrath mean? Dasha means 10 and Ratha means chariots. So King Dashrath was such a chivalrous personality that he had the strength of 10 chariots. He had that much strength. He was so chivalrous. So his name was Dasha Ratha. Rath means chariot and Das means 10 chariots. So Dashrath did not have any children, although he had 3 wives, Kaushalya, Sumitra, and who was the third one? Kaikeyi. So he was bereft of any children. And at that time, he requested his Kul Guru, Vasishtha Muni, his family guru, that what should we do to obtain a child? Because without a child, how will the kingdom go on? That is the reason why most of the kings who are bare, we find that many kings did not have children. Like we know, who else can we remember quickly in the Bhagavatam? King Chitraketu, right? King Chitraketu did not have children, and he begged to who? Naradji and Angira Rishi, give me a child. And they said that, well, this child will be the cause of your happiness and distress. But he did not want to hear anything. Just give me a child. That was his only focused desire, like a madman. So, but King Dashrath and all those great kings, the reason why they wanted children is basically if they have progeny, then they can continue the kingdom. And Prabhupada always appreciated the monarchy system than the democratic process that is going on today. Of course, today even there are some monarchs in many countries, but they are none other than dictators. But the true monarchy system that was found in the Vedic system was far more better, and by that time, that's what was prominent. And here, Vasishtha Muni says, okay, fine, we will conduct a Putra Kameshti Yagya. So Putra Kameshti Yagya is a particular yagya that is to appease the different personalities, including demigods, so that they can make the pregnancy of the person performing their wives will or their wife will become pregnant and they will have a child. So after a successful Putra Kameshti Yagya, from the yagna itself came out a wonderful demigod who gave a bowl of sweet rice, which is known as payas. And the Brahmin said that please give it to any one of your wives that are dear to you. So, but he loved all of them. Of course, Kaushalya was more dear to him in one sense. So he gave half of that portion to Kaushalya. Then he gave a quarter of it out of that bowl of sweet rice to Sumitra. Actually, 1/8. 1/8 to Sumitra. And the 1/8 he gave it to Kaikeyi. Now, what was left behind is another quarter. So what Dashrath did, he gave that quarter to Sumitra. So Sumitra received 2 quarters. And that is why Sumitra gave birth to 2. Who were they? Lakshman and Shatrughna. And Kaushalya gave birth to Rama. And Kaikeyi gave birth to Bharat. Now, the names at the time of Namkaran Sanskar means they call the priest, all the saintly personalities, and the chief priest, who was again Vasishtha Muni here, the great sage Vasishtha. Vasishtha Muni is like almost eternal, we can say so. He was even present when Parikshit Maharaj spoke Srimad Bhagavatam in the 60,000 assembled Vaishnavas. So that was in which yuga? That was in Dwapar. And Vasishtha, sage Vasishtha in the Ramayana was in Treta. So he has been present in Satya, Treta, and in Dwapar, in all these three yugas. So for a long, he had a very long lifespan, Vasishtha Muni. Anyways, so he, after performing the yajna, the queens had, and then the wonderful Ram was born, Lakshman and Shatrughna and Bharat, they were all very healthy and nice and very chubby babies, very, very beautiful looking. All the personalities of Godhead and the personality of Godhead had appeared in the house of Dashratha. The meanings of the word Rama, what is so the first son, Vasishtha Muni says, your first son will be known as Ram. What is the meaning of the Ram? Ram means the many, many meanings of the word Ram. There are actually hundreds and thousands of meanings of the word Ram. But here Vasishtha Muni defines Ram as one who gives pleasure to everyone, and especially one who gives pleasure to the devotees. So one of the meaning of the words Ram is that, one who gives the pleasure. But of course, in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Srila Prabhupada had originally, in the early days, and perhaps some Prabhupada disciples can confirm this, somebody had asked, can you take this Ram as Balram, or can you take this chanting of the Ram as Lord Ramachandra? Prabhupada said, yes, it's okay. But of course, this was the very, very early days, and to understand Gaudiya Vaishnavism, it would take some time before the devotees actually entered Chaitanya Charitamrita and understood. But just as a side note, the word Ram in the Mahamantra indicates Lord Krishna, Ranjeti Ramyati iti Ramaha, one who sports especially with Srimati Radharani exclusively. So the word Ram in the Mahamantra is Radha Raman. And that is the meaning. Because Radharani herself exclaims after the Ras Leela and after Krishna disappears just before the Gopi Gait, Ha Natha Ramana Preshta. Oh my Lord, Raman, meaning Radha Raman. Radha doesn't take her own name, but the one who sports with me, Ha Natha Ramana Preshta, my dear Raman, Kwasi Mahabaho, where are you, O mighty armed one? Just a few moments ago you were with me, and now I can't find you anymore. Like that, Radharani was lamenting in separation. So just as a side note, and in the Mahamantra, there are many, many meanings. I mean, just that the general meaning that Prabhupada has given us is perfect in all respects, that we are asking Srimati Radharani and Krishna for their begging for their service. So that is the summum bonum of the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But it has many, many different meanings depending on what our consciousness is. As another side note, for example, I think I've said this before. A child is about to go to school early in the morning at, let's say, 7 a.m. and the father is still getting ready upstairs in his bedroom, and the child is ready by the door, says, Papa. So immediately, just by uttering the word Papa, the father knows that my child is ready. Yes, I'm coming, my dear. Give me just 1 minute. I'm just adjusting my tie. I'm on my way down. The same child, in the evening at night time, about 8 p.m., she utters, Papa. So then the father is probably in the library or other part of the house, reading his newspaper or on the laptop. Oh, yes, my dear, I'm coming. I know. It's your story time. It's your bedtime. The utterance is just the word Papa, the word. But the consciousness is different. So similarly, the Mahamantra, it is not that is because of Mahaprabhu and the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this Mahamantra. Mahamantra eternally existed. There's a conversation between Naradji and Lord Brahma in the Kali Shantara Upanishad in some Satya Yuga. So this Mahamantra originally was Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So Sri Sampradaya Vaishnavas also chanted the Mahamantra. But their consciousnesses, they're all attractive is Lord Narayana, the word Krishna there. And Hara is Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi, or her servants or her servitors. So that's how the word the Mahamantra is. That is why it is Mahamantra. That is depending on the consciousness of the person, one can chant that and it can give you the perfection. Nama Chintamani Sri Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Param Shuddha Nitya Mukto Abhinnatva Namna Namino. Nama Chintamani, the holy names is Chintamani. Whatever you desire, it will give you. Nama Chintamani. So it gives you. So supposing if somebody wants money and wealth and one wants to chant, fine, you'll get it. But that would not be the optimal use of the holy names. It's like Prabhupada would say sometimes that you go to a very, very rich person and says, can you, sir, my dear sir, can you give me $1? When he can give you millions and millions of dollars. As an example, it's a material example. So you have to be careful what we ask for. Sometimes we go to the dham, we come to the temple, we chant the holy names, and we have material desires that we are asking. So, okay, it will grant it because it is Chintamani. Chintamani means, Chinta means whatever you think. Mani means it's a jewel, just like a Kalpa Vriksha. Whatever you ask, it will deliver. So, the best optimal use of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is, please grant me your seva. Please grant me your service. That is the optimal use of the Mahamantra. So, like this, we find that the Lord comes time and again. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmana srajamiham paritranayam sadhunam vinashayati duskritam dharma sanstapakaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So it was time, the demigods prayed, just like when they prayed during the time of Krishna, when the atrocities of Kamsa, they all went, and Lord Brahma went to the ocean of milk and he prayed that we are being troubled. The cows, Mother Earth, everybody, the saintly persons. So then Shirodaksai Vishnu sends a sound vibration and says, yes, I will come very soon. As the original Supreme Personality of God. Similarly here, when the demigods prayed, the message came that yes, I will appear as Lord Ramachandra. So we find who is Lord Ramachandra? Just simply, in terms of the, if I may use the word hierarchy, or how he appeared in terms of the expansions. So in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna expands simultaneously on the left as his Haladini Shakti, as Srimati Radharani, and on his right, he expands as the Sandhini Shakti, Lord Balram. And from Lord Balram, the first quadruple expansion happens in the planet in the spiritual world underneath Golok Vrindavan, which is known as Mathura, which is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And from that Sankarshan of the first quadruple expansion, Lord Narayana appears. And from that Lord Narayana, another quadruple expansion that stays put in Mathura, in Dwarka, is again another Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshan. And from that second Sankarshan of the second quadruple expansion in Mathura, in the spiritual world, appears the three Vishnus. First, the Karanadaksai Vishnu. Second, the Garbhodaksai Vishnu. And from Garbhodaksai Vishnu, unlimited Sirodaksai Vishnus, or the Sirodaksai Vishnu is also known as Paramatma. And from Sirodaksai Vishnu, different avatars happen. And one of the avatars, or one of the categories of the avatar, is known as Leela avatar. And Lord Ramachandra is one of the Leela avatars. So we have to understand, most of the people in Bharatvarsha or in India, they don't know this because nobody teaches them. And that is the reason Srila Prabhupada, we are so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has opened this college or this school of theism, where we get all this information so nicely and perfectly as it is. And if we, and that is the reason, all of you wonderful visitors who come to New Vrindavan, please, you have spent your time, your money, driving all the way into the mountains. Take full advantage, as much time as you are, whether you're here for 1 hour, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, over the weekend. Attend all the programs. And when you go home, you will take so much in your hearts. And then that hankering will be there. And then Srila Prabhupada opened a place a home where everybody can live in the whole world, which is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. There is no place in this world that where you cannot find the Iskcon movement. Uh, there is no excuse not to be Krishna conscious. Some people sometimes they worry, oh, now I'm moving out of the city, my job, it's done, I'm going to new, now I can't go. No, all you have to do is use 2 words in the Google search, Hare Krishna near me, and you will find the Iskcon centers or the Iskcon temples. So this is the place where we get. Most people think that Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, or like etc. But that's not true, as we just described. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji has given the entire details in the Krishna Samhita, and the scriptures, the details are given. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From everything emanates, including all avatars, all the spiritual planets, and the material worlds. Everything appears from Sri Krishna. So Ram means one who gives pleasure. Then also Lakshman. What does Lakshman mean? Lakshya mana iti Lakshman. One who has got one pointed attention, or one who is very focused. And what is Lakshman focused on? Serving Sri Ram. So that is the focus of Lakshman. His entire life of Lakshman is focused of how I can serve Ram. Although Balram is the older one, and always he would dictate Krishna. Krishna, don't go there. Krishna, come back here. You've gone too far. Because Mother Yashoda had already told Balaram, Balaram, now you are the parental figure. When Krishna goes out cowherding, we are always worried about him. So you take care of him. Like that. So here in the Ramayana it is said that the roles got reversed, where Lord Rama or Krishna appeared as the older brother, and he gave instructions to Lakshman. One of the names of Lakshman is Anuja. So we know that who is Shankaracharya? Lord Shiva. And who is Ramanujacharya? Lakshman. So Rama Anuja. Ram means Lord Ramachandra. Anuja means the younger brother. So actually he is an incarnation of Lakshman. And Lakshman is none other than Lord Balram, is none other than Shankarshan. So Lakshman, Shatrugna. What does Shatrugna mean? Shatru means enemy. Gna means the killer, or one who can defeat the enemies. So Shatrugna was so powerful that he could defeat many, many armies. Lord Ramachandra didn't have to do anything. He had to just send Shatrugna. And Shatrugna would very easily, Shatrugna. And we have Bharat. Bharat means what? Anybody knows? Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you. Bharat means one who carries. One who carries. And what did Bharat carry? He carried the biggest burden, as we find in the Ramayana, that what his mother did, he cursed, exiled Ram, and she took away the rightful emperor of Ayodhya, and for 14 years, that was a great burden. He took that, and he took the burden of Ayodhya, representing Lord Ramachandra. He ruled Ayodhya, but the lotus sandals of Ramachandra Bhagavan, that's what he kept on the asan, on the emperor's seat, and he ruled. So Bharat had a great burden. It's just not Lakshman, but Bharat's sacrifice is so amazing. Bharat Charitra. If one reads that in Ramayana, one will cry. There's so much piety in it, so much, so deep, that how much he loved his brother Lord Ramachandra. So like this we find its time is up. So I just wanted to kind of, touch whatever I could. So tomorrow Mother Malti will be speaking on Ramayana, and perhaps you will go into all the different leelas or whatever you have prepared for. But one thing before I close, this today's session, Kaikai was not bad. Most people think that she is very bad. She was evil. There's a secret to it actually, and Mantra was instrumental. Her maid, the old maid, who kind of induced her that, oh, you are crazy. You see, Bharat should be the rightful heir of Ayodhya. Once Lord Ramachandra becomes the monarch, he will make you a slave. He will dictate to your son. Do you really want that? You remember your husband had given you 3 boons while in the Devasura Sangram. So the demigods used to call King Dashrath because he was so powerful. Whenever there was a problem or there was a war with the demons. So there was a big Deva Asur. Dev means the demigods and Asur means the demons. So in that time, King Dashrath was called for assistance and he fought. And at that time, Kaikai, his third wife, became the charioteer. And at that time, King Dashrath's chariot fell apart, the wheel actually. And if that happens, you all know what would happen. The chariot goes and then the chances were that he would fall down and he could get killed very easily. So Kaikai actually put her finger on the hub of the chariot so that the chariot would not fall and her husband could still keep fighting with the bows and arrows and with the lances and not lose balance. And having seen that such a great sacrifice where she put her finger, King Dashrath said, ask me for 3 boons and I will grant them to you, whatever it is. So she takes a rain check. She says, not right now. When the time comes, I will ask you. So the time came, Mantra induced that. And she said, the first one, give the throne of Ayodhya to Bharat. Second is banish Ram into exile. And what was the third one? There were 3 boons. Yeah, that's true. Actually, there are, in some places they say 2, some places they say 3. But it is all related to Ayodhya. That my son become the emperor and Ram be banished. The second one, basically, they said is that Ram should not be coronated, and the third one is he should be banished to the forest. But there's a secret behind it. Kaikai is not bad at all. Never ever think like that, especially when I learned about it many, many years ago. Before coming to Iskcon, I used to listen to Ramayana. Ramayana was my favorite subject matter when it came to listening to scriptures. And it is said that actually there was a conversation between Ram and Kaikai, wherein Ram says that, that I have come here because the demigods have called because of the atrocities of Kamsa. And one of my main purposes is to paritranayam sadhunam vinashati duskritam, to kill the demonic personalities. And Kamsa and, Ravan, I said Kamsa, I take that back. Ravan and his demoniac personalities are a big burden. So this arrangement has to be made that I will go to the forest and then this is going to happen. So please help me. And whatever it takes, even though you may be blamed for it, will you do this for me? So she said, yes, my dear son, I will do it for you. So the summum bonum of this point is that sometimes devotees, for the pleasure of Krishna, they will do anything, even if it comes at the stake of their reputation. Srila Rupa Goswami mentions in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu that Anya Vilashada Shunya Jnana Karma Navritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Tad Bhakti Rutam. What is Uttam Bhakti, or what is it, which is from Narad Bhakti Sutra? Rupa Goswami had taken it from there. That one should not have any desires, no desires, shunya, not even for jnana and karma. But whatever Krishna desires, anukulena Krishna anushilanam. One should do as per the will of Krishna, whatever. So Lord Rama desired that and she became instrumental. So very few people know about this. So Mother Kaikai is very worshipable, actually speaking. So many great devotees like Lord Shiva drinking the poison and going after the Mohini Murti Like that Srila Prabhupada coming from Golok Vrindavan and going into the Bowery, 26 Second Avenue, uh, making the hippies into happies, making them into Vaishnavas. So this is not so easy. But the Vaishnavas always fulfill the desire of Krishna. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Bolo Sri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki. Gaur Pramanande Hare Bol. So if there's any questions or comments, maybe I can take one or two. And those who want to proceed for the breakfast, it's right behind in that Prasadam hall, behind the swing. Any questions, comments, any corrections? Which one? This is a commentary. Yeah, there are so many internal commentaries that they can see those leelas. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. So actually mainly it is two. But the first is that Ram will not become emperor. Second is Bharat will become emperor. Third is banish Ram to the forest for 14 years. So we find that there are places where they say two, some places they say three. So yes, Hare Krishna. All glory to Guru Gauranga.
I have two questions. My first question is, you said, the holy name is like Chintamani. It will give you anything the heart desires.
Yes.
So I see over and over again that many devotees who are chanting, we're not pure. There's a desire for something, and that something doesn't necessarily come. My question is, how should I understand that? Should I understand, or how should someone understand that? That the holy name will provide, but not necessarily in the way that you think it will? Or should I understand it that to the degree in which one is chanting inoffensively, to that degree, our heart's desires will be fulfilled?
Yes. Very well said. The latter. Yes. So unless and until we are not fully surrendered, our past karma will act on us. The example that Prabhupada gives is that similar question somebody asked Prabhupada, that why devotees are even suffering. They are chanting the holy names, etc., following the devotional process. So Prabhupada said that, you see this fan on the ceiling? Said, yes, we see it. So it's going very fast. So yes, it is. Now get up and shut the switch. So this devotee went and shut the switch. And what is happening now? So devotee says, it's not stopped, but it is coming slowly to a halt or to a stop. So that's how, although we have taken to Krishna consciousness, it is like shutting the switch off. But our karmic reactions continue until and unless we are fully surrendered to Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji says in the Sharanagati, Shadanga Sharanagati hoibe jar tar prarthana shune Vrajendra Kumar. Unless and until one is completely surrendered. Shadanga means with the 6 different branches of surrender. What are those? Full humility, dainya, atma nivedan, surrendering everything to Krishna, whatever it is, including my mind, including my minded independence. It is the hardest. Some people can surrender, or they can give up their wealth, they can give up so many things. They can give up their family, as an example, but to give up one's minute independence is the hardest. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji says in one of the bhajans that Amar Ami to nahi, I'm not even mine anymore. Like even my minded independence, I've surrendered to you. Even that. So in that bhajan, Prabhupada sings that very nicely. Manasa deha geha jo kichu mor arpilu tuva pade nanda kishore. In that bhajan, very clearly it is mentioned about Atma Nivedan. like my mind, deha, my body, geha, my assets, my house, jo kichu more, whatever I have, arpilu tuva pade Nanda Kishore, I offer it to your lotus feet, O Krishna. That is very hard because on a gross level, many saintly personalities can give up money, give up the association of the opposite sex, etc., etc. But on a subtle level, it's very hard to give up the dictates of the mind and the minded independence. So that's dainya, humility, full humility, atmanivedan, goptritavaran. Krishna, you are my provider. Not that I have got a good job and I've got a good degree, and we become very arrogant and sometimes falsely proud. Some of them, I've heard people from the India sometimes tell their grandkids and their friends, "Oh, when I came to the United States, I only had $40 with me, and look what I have now. I have a multi-billionaire empire. See what I did. See what I did. See what I achieved." So Vaishnava never thinks like that. It's everything is Krishna. It is your mercy, even if you are a multi-billionaire. So Gopinadevarana, the bread, butter, whatever is coming, you are the provider, including the devotional sentiments. When I surrender to you, you send your associates to guide me so that I can surrender properly, or I can enter your service properly. So Gopinath, avashya rakshive Krishna Vishwasparan. Krishna will certainly protect me. I have full faith. Prahlad Maharaj. What better example can we think of? Sri Hari, from the top of a mountain, from a cliff, under the elephant's foot, so many in a pit full of venomous snakes. In a dark well he was thrown, but he just simply chanted Sri Hari. Is he everywhere? Yes, he is everywhere. Hiranyakashipu asked him, is he everywhere? How is he going to save you? I tried everything, but now I'm going to kill you with my own hands. Who's going to save you? Sri Hari. Is he here? Yes, he is. Is he in this pillar? He is. Tavakara kavala varena khamat buddha sringam. Dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvrim. Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Jai Jagadish. Avashya rakshive Krishna Vishwasa. Krishna will always protect me. I have full faith. Last two of the 6 branches of Sharanagati. Bhakti anukul karya kare jo svikar. Whatever is conducive to bhakti, one must accept. And the last one, whatever is bhakti pratikul bhav varjanangikar. Whatever is not good for bhakti, we should reject. So Sharanga Sharanagati hoibe jar tar pratna sune Vrajendra Kumar. If we are fully surrendered with all these 6 branches, then Krishna must listen to us. Like Srila Prabhupada said, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that you have to chant 64 minimum rounds. Otherwise, Krishna will not even look at your offering. But Srila Prabhupada reduced that to 16 good rounds. So Krishna has to accept Prabhupada's, you follow the 4 regulative principles, chant minimum 16 good rounds, and you will go home back to Godhead in this life. So Krishna must listen to Prabhupada because he is fully surrendered. So the latter part that you mentioned plays a very important role. Naam is Chintamani, but how much do we respect the Naam? How much do we really, is the Naam on the 2nd burner, 3rd burner, 4th burner, 5th, 6th, 7th, nth burner? We have other priorities. Then Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sa tathaiva bhajamyam. The way you reciprocate with me, I reciprocate accordingly. And that's true in any relationship. You have a friend that calls you every day, you call, one day he doesn't call or she doesn't call. You say, hey, what happened? How is everything okay? A friend who calls you once a week, then you reciprocate accordingly. Friend who calls you once a month, once a year, wishing you have Merry Christmas or whatever, then you reciprocate like that. Because man is made in the image of God. So Krishna also doesn't disturb us. Okay, you don't want to have a relationship with me, not that great. Just like a friend who's just calling you once a year. You don't want to be disturbed by me calling you every day or writing you every day, then fine, whatever. So it's the surrender. And once we surrender, surrendering to the holy name is not different from surrendering to Radha Krishna and their associates. Srila Prabhupada, Acharyas. We have to have the deep conviction when we chant the holy name that this is all of you. I'm associating with you, although I'm so fallen. But somehow or the other, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the sincere Vaishnavas, they have given us this holy name. I have no value for it. But only you can help us. And we continue. We don't stop, even if it is chanting in the aparat state. Don't stop, because then slowly it will come into Namabhas, and then the final stage, which is the Shuddha Nam. So one who has attained Shuddha Nam, actually Krishna dances on their tongue, Prabhupada said. Krishna dances on their fingers. Krishna do this, Krishna do that. Okay, whatever you say. Oh, Krishna, I want to do this for you. Sure. Krishna, I want to tie you up. You're too naughty. Okay. So be it. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Did that answer your question? It all boils down to our surrender. That's it. That's the hardest part. And we keep repeating the same process. How long? Mother Yashoda didn't give up. She kept on tying and tying 2 fingers short. Finally, she exasperated. Krishna, I have so much work to do. Please get tied. That please that came out of her heart, that mood we should also get. That please doesn't come out that strong from within us. When that please and that desperation, when it comes out, then Krishna will listen to us. Hare Krishna.
I like that you said how when we're chanting the holy name, we're associating not just Krishna, because we hear that all the time. We are associating with all of the associates.
Yes, the word Hara. And we explained that in some previous lectures, if you recollect. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna.